Let's get into some shite. Welcome to Apocalyptic. I am Rick. I am going to hang out with you for just a few minutes, and then I'll let you go. How you doing out there? How was your holidays? Wrapping up. This is it's been a pretty good holiday season, I think. I think mine was pretty good. I got to do a few things that I never got to do before, and so that always makes it good. It's kind of interesting. I was wondering what it's like if you are around Christmas and you're not a Christmas, well, first of all, I guess a Christmas believer. If you don't believe in the whole Christian story of that, what it's like, because it's really kind of forced on you. Everywhere you turn, it's there. And so I know I have some friends who are Jewish who don't, they're not into Christianity at all, but they celebrate Christmas in addition to Hanukkah. And I guess after a while, you just kind of have to, right? It's just so much in your face. It's just like, all right, let's do it. Let's put a tree up. Why not? We had Christmas Eve dinner with some friends, and they invited over an acquaintance of theirs. It was just a young kid. I think he was from India, somewhere in India. I don't know for sure. I think he's a student here, perhaps. But he said it was the first time he had ever had Christmas at a Christian family. So he seemed very fascinated by it and really was enjoying it. I guess in the same way that I would be if I was in another country and I was experiencing one of their holidays. It's fun. So he was really enjoying it. He liked the dinners. He hadn't had the kind of Christmas food we were eating. That wasn't something that he was used to. And I think if I understood him correctly, he didn't eat steak, but he was eating steak that night because it's Christmas. It's just something you do. I hope he didn't get sick from it, but it was good steak, so I don't think he did. But that's interesting. I wonder what people do. How intrusive is that in your life if you don't want it? I know on Christmas Day, my wife had forgotten buttermilk. She was going to make biscuits, and she'd forgotten the buttermilk and sent me out on a quest to find buttermilk. So I went to a couple of little markets, and they're all closed, of course. Big markets closed. So she did some Googling, and she said, the little international market down the street is open. And I thought, well, of course. This is nothing to them. So they're just a regular day. So I thought, well, thank goodness there are people who don't really celebrate Christmas because they help those of us who do buy supplies that we forget about, whether it's a gift or whatever. So we went to the big international market. Boy, it's booming. People everywhere. I guess we weren't the only ones who forgot ingredients. And it was nice. And these people, they were working. It was their holiday. Not their holiday. I guess they get a holiday another time, but they seemed fine. It was just like another day. And I don't know. I'd like to know how people act and react on that day. If they're more joyous, if they're friendlier, or if it's the opposite. So the people when I was there seemed like they were happy. They seemed to be more giving, giving compliments, wishing each other Merry Christmas and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I don't know. I would feel, I do see Hanukkah images during the season, but it's not intrusive. You don't go to stores. Every store you go to, there's Hanukkah images and music playing on the. You could get a piece of it, but it's all Christmas, and I just wonder what that's like. And especially if you're not into it at all, if you're just not a religious person, you don't want to celebrate. But you have to encounter it, and then you have to go, okay, well, we're not getting mail today. I don't really want that, but it's just that part of living in this society, I suppose. I don't know how. I wonder how it'd feel if it was the other way. If I was dealing with somebody else's, and as our society changes, it could happen. Who knows? Hanukkah, Kwanzaa could become mandatory. You take that day off. You got to. Of course, Christmas isn't mandatory, but it's in your face. It's mandatory that you experience Christmas. I, of course, used to be a religious person, and I used to really be into all of the Christmas stuff. Not as much anymore, but I still love it. I love Christmas, and I can separate what I consider the mythology of Christmas with what I would consider the reality of Christmas. I can make those separations, translations, the things that you need to do. Some of it's just fun. You don't have to believe in zombies to celebrate Halloween. You can still have fun with it. And so I have a Christmas tree. We play the music. We watch the Hallmark videos. I did it all this year. Enjoyed myself. Loved it. I had some decent food. It was a quieter Christmas for us than normal. Not as many friends over. People that were supposed to come over who got COVID had to stay home, had their own little COVID Christmas. That's happening a lot. But it was still fun. Enjoyed it. I don't like after Christmas, though. Not a big fan of that. Everything just kind of disappears, and they want you to think that it never happened. Wasn't there. It's just like you've got a lead in. Probably September, they start putting up Christmas stuff. Everywhere. It's all over. Music starts blaring. The loudspeakers. For months, it's in your face. Months they're telling you to buy hams and whiskey and sweaters and whatever. Just like, do it now. Come on, it's Christmas. Get on board. What's wrong with you? Watch the movie. Sing the songs. Here's Mariah Carey. She's got something to say to you. December 26th, boom, it's gone. You go out, wait, where are the lights? This place was all lit up like that. It looked like a fantasy land. Like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Didn't happen. Not here. What, are you sure? It was somewhere else. Where's the music that was playing really loud when I was walking through shopping for groceries? Where's the music now? Now it's like the Bee Gees. No, we didn't do that. We didn't have that music. I don't know what you're talking about. They just pull it out from under you. They get you on board. They trick you. It's like Charlie Brown kicking the football. Come on, Charlie Brown. We're not going to do it this year. This year, it's going to be all year around. You're going to have seasonal festivities. Come on. Kick the ball. And, you're like, all right. Okay. All right. I believe you. I'll do it. You can get the little running thing. I can't do the little, oh, man, I've got a little thing here. Maybe this is it. Yeah, you run toward the football. Boom. Don't get it. Fall on the floor. They pull it away. I always feel hollow. Disappointment. I used to get really depressed after Christmas. So this year, not as much. I'm okay. I'm gonna ride it out. I was watching Willy Wonka. The original Gene Wilder. Great movie. Something I noticed, I guess I've noticed it before, but really kind of drove it home watching Willy Wonka. And then Elf, we watched Elf. Why is it somewhere, who made the decision somewhere that the little people are going to be doing the labor? Everybody's got their little team of little people. Why, in what meeting did the person say, all right, the little people are the workers. They're the ones that are going to be doing the hard labor, while the I want to say regular size, normal size, average sized people are enjoying their life. Santa gets all of the cookies, Santa gets all of the milk, and the elves have to make the toys. They have to load the sleigh. I don't know what they get at Christmas. I don't know. But who made that decision that the little people have to do the work? And it's not just, I mean, I can't say Wizard of Oz is not that. They don't really do the work. It's just a town of small people. Snow White, the seven dwarfs are working in the mines. They're hard workers. It's what they do. They go out and work hard in the mines. Keebler elves making cookies, hard at work in the tree, making the cookies. Who made that? Who decided little people are going to be doing that? I would think if I have a team, and this is nothing at all against the little people, but I'm thinking if I'm going to hire a team of workers, it's going to be the giants, right? Not the little people, the giants. First of all, they can reach higher places, but I would think if you're a giant, you've got a little more extraordinary powers, and maybe little people have extra powers I don't know about. I can't make a comment on that. I just don't know. But I would hire the big people. I would hire the really, really big people to do the work, not the little people. I got my coffee this morning. Feeling good. I'm just kind of taking it easy here now. That was kind of a little too much rant on little people. I'm gonna kind of fade back and kind of take it easy. Hey, do you like the podcast? Are you listening to the podcast much? Have you listened to it a lot? I did do an episode last week. Now I have another show Thursday. This is going to be weird this week because we got all of these holidays. I'm going to be out of town. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a show while I'm gone or if I want to record it before I leave and put it up. I just don't know yet. So I might actually do. That would be kind of fun, though, to do a show on the road. So I could do that. But I'm going to do a show on Thursday. Thursday will be a kind of a re-examining of 2022, things that happened, what happened in my life, what happened in everyone's life. You're welcome to call in and tell everybody what happened in your life. You can call our listener line, 678-348-0008, and tell everybody what happened in your life. We'd like to know. Do you have a good one? Do you have a bad one? Challenging one? There's no bad lives. It's just life. Some of them are more challenging than others. I have challenging times right now. I'm being challenged. And it happens. Then that goes away. You have an okay life. Things are much better. Let us know what's happening to you. You can even send me an email, rick@apocalyptic.com. I'll read it online. The listener line, you can also text 678-348-0008. If you're shy, send a text. I will read it on the air, and we'll talk about your life, because that's important. Your life is important. It really is. And Facebook, too. We're there, hanging out, websites, all that good stuff. Do you do resolutions, New Year's resolutions? So I used to do resolutions every year, New Year's resolutions, made a list. Every once in a while, I'll go through an old notebook of mine. I'm just thumbing through, and I'll find a list. And it's my New Year's resolution list for that year. And I just look through, and they're all the same every year when I find them. They're the exact same ones, and I don't do a single one of them. I don't accomplish a single one of them. But every year, I put it down. See, I'm the kind of person that if I'm kind of an all or nothing person. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. So if I decide I am going to exercise, let's just say I'm going to do 20 push-ups once a day. Let's just imagine in some fantasy world of mine that I'm going to do 20 push-ups a day. And so I put that as my exercise goal. 20 push-ups a day. I will do 20 push-ups. This, again, it's fantasy. I'm never going to do 20 push-ups. So I'll do 20 push-ups first day. I definitely will do that. Because you just made the resolution. Why break it the first day? Second day, I'll do it. Third day, I'll do it. And the thing is, I'll keep doing it every day. And then I will miss it once. And when I miss it once, it's all over. I will not do another one. If I can keep it going, I will go into April, May. I'll keep going if I do it every day. But the first day I miss it, it's done. I will never do another one. I won't be like, okay, well, that day I'll just skip that. When I did the year in a kilt, that's the way it was. It was just like I had to do it every day. I knew if I missed one day, I would find excuses to miss the next one. And the next one, same thing with doing a podcast. So like this podcast is a day late. And in my back of my head, I was like, I can't do that. I can't be a day late and then just make that an excuse. Like every day, every week, I could just say, all right, this is going to be late. It's just like once you kind of break the pattern, it's just too easy to do it, to break it again. For me. But this year I decided no resolutions. I'm not going to do any resolutions. They just don't work. I do like to kind of examine my life and decide how I want to make some changes. I do. That's the best thing about the first of the year is it's like a new goal. It's not magic, obviously. You could choose, July 15th. It doesn't matter. Just pick a day. But 1st of July, you got a new year, and it just feels different. It's a nice motivator. You could kind of pick things that you could do. And I just say, go small. Don't worry about the big ones. You could set some big goals. Don't make them a resolution, because then when it fails, you're going to be depressed. If it fails, I'm not saying it will. I'm not cheering for you to fail. Just start small. Make little bits. So I have decided there are some things that I want to do different starting next year. That's not a resolution, really. But I do. I kind of use it as a goal, personal goal for myself. Some things that I want to do, and if I miss them, that's fine. I'm not gonna try to do it every day. In fact, there were a couple times when I set New Year's resolution, and I would purposely miss it the first or second day because I wanted to get it over. I just was like, I'm going to screw it up. I'm going to miss one. Let's go ahead and miss this one, and then there's no pressure. At that point, and then the whole concept of resolutions just goes out the window. It's like, why even make them? But anyway, I started thinking about just some habits that I do, and not just me. I think we all do it. And I think about how we all kind of label ourselves, I do believe. I think we give ourselves label, even if it's unconscious, and a lot of them are conscious. For instance, our occupation. I think it's weird. People come up and say, "What do you do for a living?" What do you do? What are the actions that you do? We will respond with what we are, right? So, what do you do for a living? And you say, "I am a fireman." So that's what you've identified yourself with. The work and the position. You've made yourself that. You don't answer, "Oh, well, I put out fires. That's what I do." No, I am. You make the label you. And I understand why we do it. It's a little easier than kind of go into the descriptions. I like to say I'm an artist, but that involves a lot of stuff. And I can't just say, well, I paint this and I draw this and I glue this and I shape this and I cut that. I can't. That's just too much information. It's easier just to say I'm an artist. But I suppose I could say, well, I do art type stuff. I do art. Let's just say that. When we say we are the thing that we do, we develop this kind of image of ourselves, not just for other people, but for ourselves too. We start thinking, I'm that person. I am an artist. And someone says, can you mow my grass? And you go, I don't do that. I'm an artist. What are you talking about? Can you cook something delicious? No, I draw. I'm an artist. Not that cooks aren't an artist. There's some great, most cooks are great artists. But the point being, we limit ourselves when we put those labels on ourselves. And it's not just occupation. I'm a patient person. I'm a stupid person. I'm a creative person. I'm a lazy person. I'm a depressed person. I am a waste of time. I can't get things right. I'm a sick person. We all do that to a certain extent. And it's usually based on half truths. Because we could call ourselves a dumb person because we made some dumb mistakes in our life or dumb decisions. But who hasn't? We all have. In fact, you may have made less dumb decisions as a very successful person, but the very successful person just says, that was a bad decision. I'm not that person. And then they move on. So I'm kind of interested in the labels that I've put on myself. and how they restrict me from being me, how they restrict me from being who I'm supposed to be, a real person, because the real me has none of those labels. I'm doing a podcast right now. You could say I'm a podcaster, but I'm not. That's just a label. I could stop it tomorrow. Did I suddenly become a different person? No, I'm just not doing one thing that I used to not do. And this happens, I think, as we get older, it becomes more and more of our identity. And there are some really, there's some identities that are even more hardwired into us, like parents. I'm a parent. And you could qualify that too. I'm a successful parent, or I am a failure at a parent, or I'm a grandparent. I am a neglectful grandparent. I am a happy grandparent. Whatever. You can put the adjectives on if you want. But I think, if anything, I'm going to challenge myself this year to examine those labels and to drop them, to get rid of them. There's no use in them whatsoever. I don't need them. There are some times when you need to describe what you do, who you are, what you like, who you feel like you are. You kind of need to do that in your life sometimes, but you never, ever need to grab onto it. You never need to make an identity out of it. And we all do it. And the longer you live, it seems like it just becomes more ingrained into you. And you can let that limit what you do. You know, there are people, 90-year-old people who get their pilot license, or who start painting, or who sing for the first time. And it's because of that. They didn't allow themselves to say, I'm not going to do that. And I know physically there are some things I can't do anymore. I'm never going to be the quarterback for the Jets. Although, I don't know, they might need that. So you just kind of have to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that. Physically, not that. Although if you label that too much, you might surprise yourself. You might be able to do things more physically than you think you could do. But I just think that it's a good time for me to kind of look and examine those labels and drop them. See, I really believe that Christmas is the perfect lead into that. Like what I was saying, it's phony. It's like a movie set. It's all completely built up. And then the moment Christmas goes, all of that is gone. And it's the same world we were living in. It's just seems different. It's like got built up and then taken away. And we believed it. We fell into it. We were like, oh no, I got caught up in it. I believed that this was fantasy land. And it's what we do with our labels. We start telling ourselves we are that. And I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop. It's going to be my new thing from now until I can't do anything anymore. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just not even going to think about myself as anything. I mean, obviously, I think even it can go as deep as saying I am masculine or a man. Some people don't want to challenge that. But what does that mean? In our society, we think we know what a man is. Man does this. Man is macho. Man doesn't cry. Man does. Those are the labels that we put on. But there's nothing that says that. The way men are defined today, young men, 20-year-old men, the way they're defined today is so different from how my dad's generation defined men. We've had that change. And nothing happened except people said, we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to use those labels. We can cry if we want to. We can birth babies, not physically, but we can be there. We can raise them. We can hang on to them. We can cry with them. We can diaper them. I don't know my dad ever changed my diaper. I bet he didn't. I just can't even imagine that. I would be surprised if I found out he did. Although it seems like he would have to, but I just don't think he did. And it's a thing that nowadays, if you found out a man didn't change a diaper, you would think there was something wrong with him. And it's because those labels got dropped. And I'm going to say, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's make 2023 the year we start dropping our personal labels and just say I'm anything I want to be at any point. I don't have to prove anything to you. I don't have to say I'm this way. Okay. You want to do it with me? I'm going to do it. I don't care if you do or not. Do what you want. I don't care. All right. That's it for today, folks. Kind of looking forward to the next podcast, although I'm not really sure how I'm going to work it in. I got some plans. Think I'm going to do it. And then next week is a really hard one, Monday. I'm going to go on a little trip with the missus, the woman, the really cute girl. I told you about her. We're going to go up to the mountains. We're going to go up, have a little vacay. We do it every once in a while on the New Year's Eve kind of thing. But yeah, we're going to do, that's what I'm thinking. Anything can happen. Plans have been ruined. One of our really good friends got COVID. How do we know we're not going to get it? I have to stay behind. Could happen. But so far, that's kind of what we want to do. Whatever happens, though, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's just like Christmas. Whatever, when it comes, it comes. When it goes, it goes. It's totally fine. I'm still here. I'm still me. In spite of the labels, I'm still me. The end music will always play at some point, and then it's over. That's life, people.